I'm a great fan of outside cooking, and I have learnt how to avoid those burnt offerings. These are 2 foolproof dishes guaranteed to go down a storm: minted lamb burgers and smoky Texan chicken wings. The secret of a good barbecue is to prepare everything ahead.
Texan chicken wings, such fun and really, really tasty, and chicken wings are very inexpensive.
Start by removing the wing tip.
On a barbecue, that very often burns, that very thin end, and so you just cut between the joint here. Then you're left with a sort of V-shaped joint. So I've got them all there.
What these need is a lovely smoky marinade.
I've used paprika over the years, but this is the first time I've used sweet smoked paprika, and it has a lovely smoky flavour, and it's just perfect for barbecues. So I'm going to add 2 teaspoonfuls. Not only does that give flavour, it gives a wonderful colour as well.
In with the paprika goes 1 finely chopped chilli, a clove of crushed garlic, tomato ketchup,
Good squirt.
2 tablespoons of Worcester sauce, 1 of brown sugar, and some olive oil.
About a couple of tablespoons, give or take.
Season and give it a good stir.
It's a wonderful colour, that.
My foolproof tip is to coat the chicken using a polythene bag.
Do you know, the whole smell of that makes me think of barbecues because it's sort of smoky and spicy. Great.
So they go into the fridge for a couple of hours or overnight to soak up all that flavour. And in the meantime, I can get on with preparing the lamb burgers.
These lamb burgers are something quite different from the traditional beef burgers. I think they're absolutely scrumptious, and I know exactly what goes in them, and they'll be full of flavour.
Homemade burgers are very simple to make. Start with a herb breadcrumb mix to flavour the meat.
That didn't take too long, did it? It may not be your choice to put coriander in. You can leave it out because the main ingredient is mint. But I think mint and coriander go well. And pop that in there. Then a generous 2 tablespoonfuls of mint sauce. Yes, the sort you buy in a jar.
Next, add 1 roughly chopped red onion and a clove of crushed garlic. Give it a quick whiz, but my tip is to make sure the mixture doesn't get too wet.
I've got 500 grams of minced lamb. Now that would be minced shoulder of lamb, and as you can see, it's fairly lean. So all this wonderful flavouring things are going straight in there.
Add a little seasoning and then work the mixture together.
Nice clean hand going in. Actually, I am going to shape them with my hands anyway, so. A bit like kneading bread. And the one thing you can't do is over-knead this.
Once it's mixed well, you simply divide it and shape it into burgers.
And you want to just make them into flat cakes. And with wet hands, it's quite easy. I think that's a nice shape. We'll make them into 8.
A barbecue isn't complete without something on the side, so I've made a simple tomato relish.
As well as the tomato relish, I'm going to make a mint mayonnaise. What could go better with lamb than mint?
This is a cheats mayonnaise, no need to make your own. Use a big dollop from a jar, add a little ready-made mint sauce, and a good handful of fresh mint.
These lovely tender leaves. And again, the smell is absolutely lovely. That's good enough for me. Then you just drop that in.
You can do all this the day before and keep it in the fridge ready for when you need it. How about this for a simple idea for a barbecue? You need an old wheelbarrow like this one, a metal one it must be, a rack perhaps from the oven or a grid, and 4 old bricks. Don't need any fancy equipment. My first barbecue memory was in 1973 when the children were little. All I managed then were sausages and beef burgers, but I loved the fun of it. And though I'm all for the chaps doing the barbecuing, secretly I do like to have a go myself. Now that really was simple. The secret of good barbecuing is to do it slowly. First of all, make sure that the charcoal goes down to be white and there will be an intense heat, and that's when you barbecue. So I'm going to leave that to its own devices for about half an hour, wash my hands and get on with the food. So there are my lamb burgers and the Texan chicken wings. I like to have a few veg on the barbecue too, and we've got some overgrown courgettes. So all I do is just split them in half. And they do jolly well on the barbecue. They want to be done very slowly. Bit of pepper on top. That's it. So how's the barbecue doing? The charcoal has gone down to embers. So let's get going. Now onto the chicken. It's beautifully colourful. I'm going to pop that on the top there. They look nice and meaty, which is good. That's a good start. I've really well oiled those on both sides. Let's turn these burgers over. Just the perfect colour. And that's how barbecuing should it be. It should not be charred. It should be just that lovely colour. So how's the chicken doing? Oh, that looks just about right. So there we are, an alfresco feast prepared ahead of time, which means I can relax and enjoy the company. How about that?
Lovely.
What we need.
Beautiful.
Right, do take a view.
Oh, yes. Thank you.
Do you like them as black as that?
Sometimes my family prefers something light and scrumptious. And the one dish they always request is my delicious tuna salad.
My salad is sort of first cousin to a niçoise salad. There are certain things that I absolutely love, and they're avocados. I'm putting those in. And I've got a wonderful lemon mustard dressing too, which is something that goes so well with tuna.
Everybody loves crunchy croutons, and I like to make my own.
I don't like them too big. I think the smaller ones are nice. Also, you get more crisp edges.
My secret to making sure they always work is to pop them into a polythene bag with some olive oil.
Just drizzle it over. Good pinch of seasoning and a good old shake. As you can imagine, it really coats every surface. If you try and do it in the pan, you end up by having far too much oil.
Then simply fry the cubes in a hot, dry pan.
Don't burn them, it's as easy as winky, especially if you do them in the oven. Those look pretty good to me. Off with the heat. The secret of a tuna salad, I think, is the dressing, and I've got a cracker of a dressing here.
Whisk 8 tablespoonfuls of olive oil with 2 each of whole grain mustard and runny honey, and 3 of white wine vinegar.
And the other ingredient in the dressing is the juice of half a lemon. I don't have the muscle that all those chefs have. They just catch hold of it, don't they? And they go, and somehow all juice comes out. I do that, and very little comes out. So I use a lemon squeezer.
Pour half of the dressing over 250 grams of freshly boiled new potatoes.
It's a really good tip I learnt in France to toss the potatoes in the dressing. They absorb it while they're warm. Then when you add them to the salad, they'll be full of flavour right down to the middle.
I like to serve this salad on a nice big sharing platter with blanched green beans, tomatoes, and a couple of chopped avocados tossed in lemon juice to keep the colour.
I think they look lovely, these potatoes. They're lovely with the dressing.
Don't be stingy with the tuna. A couple of tins should do it, and the children will love it. Finish with 3 hard-boiled eggs.
And that's that lovely mustard dressing. I think that's just the right thing for Saturday lunch. Perfect.
Herbs are a great way to add sophistication to a dish when entertaining guests. And I love using them to add zing to this salmon, prawn and potato salad platter.
If we're having friends round and I'm doing a buffet, I always include a salmon dish.
First, season 3 medium salmon fillets and add a good squeeze of lemon.
Lemon and fish go very well together.
Wrap them in foil.
You don't need to seal it because it's not going to run away.
And cook at 160 fan.
And it'll take about 15 minutes.
I've already boiled 500 grams of new potatoes. And whilst they cool, I can make the dressing. 3 tablespoons of Dijon mustard.
3 tablespoonfuls of white wine vinegar. 4 tablespoonfuls of oil, and then a tablespoonful of sugar. And best to use caster sugar because it dissolves quickly.
Add a little seasoning and give it a good whisk.
Now this is a very mustardy dressing, but it goes well with the potatoes. Doesn't take much mixing, that's it.
Once the potatoes are cool enough to handle, quarter them and add them to the dressing.
I think that potato salad is something not to be forgotten. So much pasta and rice is served as salads, but there's nothing to beat a good potato salad. The warm potato will absorb this lovely mixture of mustard and oil.
To add some crunch, slice 3 spring onions and 4 sticks of celery.
When I was young, Dad used to grow it, and we had celery with everything. It was almost too much celery.
Next, add 6 tablespoons of mayonnaise and the chopped spring onion and celery.
So it is not going on the floor, it's going straight in the bowl. That's it.
And to add a bit of colour, a few thinly sliced radishes.
Mix all that together. The radishes have a very piquant flavour, so if they're thinly sliced, they just fit very well with the salad. That's it.
Now, some wonderful fresh parsley.
If you can't be bothered to chop parsley, I've got a quick tip to speed it up. Put it in a cup and then just snip it with scissors. And if you've got an extra pair of hands in the kitchen and it's one of your children or grandchildren, they love doing this little job. That's it. Then put some of it in here. So mix all that together. Parsley works really well in this potato salad because it gives the brightness of the green as well as adding to the flavour. Just going to put that to one side and see how the salmon's doing. There we are. Now that is absolutely perfect. And then you just flake that up in sort of reasonable sized pieces. Potato salad down the centre. I'm trying very carefully not to drip it on the side. So there's the salmon all the way down.
And to make it extra special, some king prawns.
If you get hold of each one and tuck the tails into each other and then lie them across the top, I would serve this on an occasion that perhaps it's a special birthday or an anniversary and you've got a crowd round and you want to really push the boat out. I think they look fun and very special. And I've got something to crown the glory. You might call it showing off. I've been dying to grow micro herbs because you can't get them very easily. And just look at that. It looks so smart. It's all different kinds of lettuce and mustard. So I'm going to snip some and just put it across the top. If you haven't got micro herbs, of course you can just put parsley over the top. And I think that looks really special. So how about that for your next very special occasion? Worth trying? Thanks for tuning in. Please like and subscribe to my YouTube channel and enjoy.